So, you want to learn how to make something jump or even fly using stop motion animation? First off, you'll need a stop motion program. If you're using your phone, I'd recommend Stop Motion Studio Pro. But if you're using a desktop like me, DRAGONFRAME is my go-to. Now, I animate at 15 frames per second. Why 15? Because it gives you more room in each second to truly create an action. When working on specific actions, I try to avoid it looking too fast or choppy whilst not overdoing it. For the setup, you'll need a camera. I use the Logitech C920, a rig or Lego pieces to hold the subject up, sticky tack, and finally the subject you'll be animating. Speaking of subjects, this video is sponsored by minifigs.me. They make incredibly high quality custom Lego minifigures, including this awesome set of Thunderbolts characters. What makes this brand stand out to me more than any other is the fact that they actually use real Lego parts that are UV printed on, and it just looks phenomenal. This company was founded by an amazing, caring husband and wife team who are both huge Lego enthusiasts like me, so you know there is lots of care that goes into the custom designs they make. They have a wide variety of heroes, sci-fi, adventure, animation, and even comedy minifigures. I'll leave a link to their website in the description, so go check them out. Anyways, back to the video. Let's first start off with animating the jump. The first thing you want to do is first take a masking frame, as I like to call it. It's the frame of the background where there is nothing behind it, no subject, no nothing. And you use this frame so that when you take photos with the character using a rig when it's in the air, you're able to mask out each frame individually without having to use AI or green screen or anything like that. Now, if you're doing a shot with the camera moving, you're going to have to take multiple masking frames without the subject. But for the purpose of this demonstration, we will be just taking one and not have the camera moving. But for the purpose of this demonstration, we will just take one masking frame and not have the camera move. When animating something like a jump, it's important to not just have it move up into the air, but rather charge up that jump. So what we'll do first is animate him bending down into the right, and then flick up into the air. To make my movements more fluid and less choppy, I like to start off slow in between each frame with how far I move the minifigure, and then slowly ramp it up the distance between where he was last and where he is now. So as you can see right here, when he's jumping up into the air, I start off with like some small movements, and then I start ramping it up and making bigger spaces in between where he was last. Then once he reaches the peak of his jump, I like to lessen the gaps of how far he is from his last position and slowly ease it down. That way he's almost coming to a full halt in the air while still going up a little bit. And then I'm going to start his descent again, which is going to start slowly and then amp it up before he hits the ground. Now when he hits the ground, what I'm going to do is actually bend him forward a little bit, just to kind of make it seem like he's not just landing stiff, and rather he's able to bend his knees. Well, the minifigures don't have knees, but bend his legs forward to give that illusion that that's happening. So I'll bend him forward like so, and then he'll straighten out afterwards. And this is the final product. Now the last step is to edit out the rig. So what we'll go ahead and do is go to the beginning of our animation just to get our masking frame. Then we'll go ahead and bring it up to the frames with the rig in it. That way we can just have them all together and can export them all the same. So this is from frame 9 all the way to frame 19. So we'll go to File, Export Image Sequence, and then we'll type in the frames that we need to export. Then we'll export those. And here we have our file. Now you can put these in your own folder or just leave them here. The choice is yours. So once you have these photos in a folder, you're going to want to open up a program to mask it out. Now, a free program that I use is called GIMP, and this program just helps me edit everything out, and I'll show you guys how to use that. So we'll go ahead and open our file. So we'll select all of them, and then we'll open them. And it'll take just a second to load. But once it does, we'll go ahead over to our masking frame. And we'll use the rectangle select tool. And we'll just highlight the entire photo. And then just click Command C to copy it. Then we'll go over to our first frame. And we'll right click over here and create a new layer. Then we'll click Command V to paste our image that we just copied. And we'll go ahead and anchor that. That way they're separate, and when you use the eraser tool, it doesn't just erase the background fully, but rather just the top frame. And then once we use our eraser tool, we can crop in our subject and remove the rig. So I'll go ahead and do that for the rest of the frames, and then show you how to import them back into DRAGONFRAME. So one thing quickly I forgot to mention is how to overwrite the file. So quickly you'll just go over to File, and then you'll overwrite it, and then click Export. And you'll do that for every single photo, just so it all exports properly. Then to import it over to DRAGONFRAME, we're going to go up to File, and then Import, and Image Sequence. And then we'll just go ahead and add our photos into the stop motion. And then the last step here is to just delete all the frames with the rig in it and replace them with the frames without the rig. And then you'll have your final product. I'll just give myself a second to do that, and I'll show you my final product. And there we have it. Let me know what you guys think. And for those interested in flying, I also did a little test stop motion here. And you can go by it frame by frame if you just use the arrow keys on your keyboard, or if you're on phone, you could just set it to 0.25 speed and just click play and pause. And you could see how I worked my way around this one. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you did find it helpful, it would mean a lot if you guys left a like down below and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.